It is so smooth. It's like smooth as a baby's butt. We have got a really big crew out here today that should be a lot of fun to watch. In this episode, we have the best concrete crew out here pouring our 6-inch, 42 by 50 foot concrete slab for our oversized attached garage. Construction continues on our 2,000 square foot barn dominium style home. And we bring home 2 new surprising additions to the family. We are Hidden Creek Family Ranch, a 3-generational family teaming up to build our homestead from scratch in North Idaho. Our construction crew just finished installing our custom trusses and wrapping the entire house with plywood sheathing and are ready to move on to framing the soffits. But first, Joel needed to trim the trusses because he discovered that the truss company mistakenly built them with a 24-inch overhang rather than the 12-inch overhang that our plans originally called for. Got your steel-toed boots on? No. We considered leaving them, but we all agreed that it would look better and we'd save some money on the cost of roofing materials. After trimming the overhang of the trusses around the entire house, Joel and his crew began framing the soffits. These are essentially the eaves, and they serve as end caps for the roof. But before all of the soffits could be completed, the crew had to switch gears and prepare the garage floor with about 6 inches of compacted crushed rock, because in 2 days we'd be pouring cement for the garage slab. The rebar was laid out and plastic chairs were set to support and secure the rebar in place, just in time for the cement crew to roll in. We have got a really big crew out here today, about 10 people on the site, a lot of hands work in this job, so it should go smoothly, it should go quickly, and it should be a lot of fun to watch. The Little Rascals is a family-operated concrete pumping and finishing company. This type of work is process-heavy and time-sensitive, so it's critical to have a hardworking and competent team. And honestly, we couldn't have been more impressed with this crew. They were highly skilled, professional, and fun. After pouring close to 50 cubic yards of cement, the crew spent a few more hours meticulously finishing the edges and the surface to ensure that our slab was of the highest quality. You guys, I can't believe this. I had to introduce you here to Doug. What's your title here? You like a cement finish master?
Yeah, concrete guy.
Concrete guy. I'd call you a finish master because your work was just beautiful. Thank you so much. What's absolutely blowing me away right now is that you are from my hometown. of Simi Valley.
Yep.
Yeah? You lived in Simi Valley in the, you said 70s and 80s?
60s and 70s.
60s and 70s. Yeah, and what high school did you go to?
Royal High.
I graduated from Royal in 1994. Wild. So, pretty awesome. So glad that I got to meet you. Thank you so much for an amazing job out here.
You're welcome. Try not to move your hand. Lift your hand up.
All right, it's Ranger's turn.
Let's get the doggy.
Aww. That was adorable. Oh, this job's going to the dog.
Well, the crew finished up their work out here. I'm gonna take my first steps on our new concrete slab in our rec room. Check this out. Just beautiful work. They did such a wonderful job. It's a little intimidating because it's only been a few hours, but here I am taking my first steps on our new slab. I know you want to. You don't want to ruin it? It is pretty, isn't it? I am telling you, I just got my hands down on this. It is so smooth. It's like freshly shaved legs. It's so smooth. With the garage slab now complete, Joel and the guys will be getting back to framing the soffits and installing plywood sheathing on the roof and framing our interior walls. But first, we have some important family business to share with you. In our last episode, I reflected on how we're not just building a house and a homestead, but we're building our family memories. Well, this week we're adding to that by bringing home 2 new additions, one of which is building upon our family legacy that David's parents and my grandparents began decades ago. After enjoying a beautiful drive through the countryside of eastern Washington state, we found ourselves trailering home something that I did not see coming. David, we just did something.
We just did something.
What have we done? We bought a boat, you guys. That's what we did. We bought a boat.
It's a rocket.
It's a Hobie 18 Catamaran. We're boat owners again.
So, a little different.
A little different. This is so very different.
How is it different?
Well, because our previous boat was a twin diesel. A stink pot, they call it in the world of boaters.
40-foot Egg Harbor motor yacht that we lived on.
And we lived on it. Yeah, this is so far from that. A little different. David grew up sailing with his family at the Dana Point Yacht Club in Southern California. His dad was vice commodore of the yacht club and a merchant marine U.S. Coast Guard captain with a 100-ton license, specializing in yacht delivery and yacht repossessions. His mom was a sailor too, and together they competed double-handed in the race for life from San Diego to Honolulu and were the first husband and wife team to cross the finish line on their 44-foot Norseman monohull, Tsunami. David's oldest brother, Mike, is a sailor down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and his other older brother, Greg, races sailboats in Denmark. My dad grew up in Newport Beach during the era in which catamarans were first taking over the competitive sailing community. In fact, his dad and mom, Jack and Dot Swart, were friends and crew members of Rudy Choi, the original ocean racing catamaran draftsman. And among the countless wins and awards and trophies, my grandparents were most proud of placing first to finish 2 years in a row in the Newport to Ensenada race on their 36-foot CSK catamaran, Imua. And half a century later, my dad worked for North Sails, the largest sailmaker in the world. So here we are now, living in North Idaho, just minutes from Lake Pend Oreille, which happens to be the largest lake in all of Idaho. And so it makes perfect sense for David and I to buy a sailboat and keep the family tradition of sailing alive. David found this boat for sale online, and it turned out to be an absolute barn find in immaculate condition. And the story that the seller gave us is really interesting. We need to do some research to find out if it's true, but if it is, this very boat belonged to the Hobie family. And continuing on the topic of family, it seems the perfect time to tell you about our second big addition. Although not so big now, he's going to be huge. You guys, today is another really exciting day. After years of talking about doing this, today might possibly be the day that we get another dog in the family. Ranger so badly needs to have a buddy with him all the time. Of course, we have Sadie, but he's not with her all the time. He spends a lot of time alone or just with us, and we really want him to have someone to pal around with and play with and be with when we're, busy and not at home. So we have some Great Pyrenees Anatolian mix, and we also have some purebred German Shepherds. I tend to be leaning toward the German Shepherds. I've had German Shepherds as a kid growing up. They're just amazing, awesome dogs. I'm really comfortable, really familiar with them. Great family dogs, very loyal and protective, good with the kids, which is something that, of course, is really important to us. However, I've also been interested in an Anatolian Shepherd for livestock guardian, but we don't have any livestock yet. We will hopefully next spring, summer. Planning on having goats and chickens, possibly more, but we're just not really quite there yet, and I don't want to commit to something until we're ready for that. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna check it out, and keep an open mind. Okay, I'm not fooling anyone here. I'm going home with a puppy. Out of the 4 Anatolian Shepherds and 6 German Shepherds, I immediately fell in love with this little guy. He's a 9-week-old purebred German Shepherd, and David and I agreed to bring him home and surprise the girls. He slept in my lap the whole way. Didn't make a sound. As soon as the car started moving, he was out. So we're driving down our road now, almost home. We've got a big surprise for the girls here. They are going to totally flip. They're going to be so surprised and so excited. Don't scare it! Don't scare it!
Did we get that?
Don't scare it. After spending a couple of days getting to know him better, we all agreed to name this beautiful boy Chief. With a new puppy in the family, all of the amazing progress on our home, and a new boat that promises to reignite a sentimental piece of our family history, we're constantly mindful of remaining humble and grateful for where we are on this journey and all of the sacrifices that we made to get here. And we're especially grateful for the opportunity to share our story with you. You got a boat.
Boat.
You're a boat guy again.
Yay.
Bust out another 1,000.